last night. But first, let's start with two gentlemen here. I'm going to start with the Republican and Democrat and basically give you a recap real quickly of what happened last night. Yes, I did say Republican. So as we widen out here, I'm going to bring in Dick Wadhams, who is the chair of the Republican Party here in the Mile High City. Good morning. Good to see you, Dick. And you met this gentleman yesterday, Mark Levine. Good morning.
Good to be here.
He is a nationally syndicated talk show host, more on the left side of things. So we'll come back to you, but let's start with Dick. Welcome to, I guess this would be enemy territory, wouldn't it?
I think it's great. It's fun to be here.
Well, thanks for being here. What did you think of last night? Specifically, though, I want to hear what you thought of Michelle Obama, but Ted Kennedy, as a Republican, what did you think of that speech?
Well, I mean, Kennedy gives a great speech. What can I say? And it was a great night for the Democratic Party last night. I mean, they had some of their stars show up from the past, and Michelle Obama gave a great speech as well. Nobody addressed the fundamental question, though, that needs to be answered at this convention: is Barack Obama ready to be president? That question, the answer is no.
Well, don't you think they're going? I mean, it's only day one, though. Don't you think they'll get to that at some point?
No, I don't. I think we're going to see a great show for 4 days, but it will not fundamentally answer the question: is Barack Obama ready to be president? And the answer is no.
All right, and real quick, Joe Biden. What does that look like then for Mr. McCain's pick for VP?
You know, first of all, I agree with the Rocky Mountain News and Denver Post, both who editorialized very strongly what a bad pick Senator Biden was for Barack Obama. Our Denver newspapers were unified on that. In terms of Senator McCain, we'll find out Friday. There are a lot of great potential VP candidates, and looking forward to whoever he picks.
Well, as we start the 7 o'clock hour, Mark Levine, jump in here. That's the Republican view of things right now. Obviously, you would disagree.
Well, you know, what's interesting is that most Americans already support Barack Obama on the issues. If you look at it, 70% plus of Americans don't like the direction the country is going, and they don't want John McCain just to continue Bush's policies, privatizing Social Security and things like that, giving us 100 years of war in Iraq. So, because Americans already support Obama on the issues, last night was about personality. It was about learning who he was as a person. And to me, Michelle Obama really brought up, this is a family guy. These are people from humble beginnings who live the American dream. You know, the Republicans want to classify Obama as some kind of elitist. Really, that's just code word for uppity. They don't like that a humble person can achieve so much. And, you know, John McCain marries the beer heiress. He gets millions of dollars. It's very strange for me. These are ordinary people who've just achieved the American dream.
Well, are you arguing with somebody that marries millions of dollars, Mark?
No. I mean, look, he did very well. I understand that. But it's just strange for me that they use that argument.
You're trying to draw a contrast here. And is there that big a contrast?
Well, first of all, Steve, what is really happening is that we're finally getting beyond the hype and the hope and the change and all those nice soaring rhetoric words that Barack Obama uses. What is happening is the American people are finally focusing on the substance of these two candidates, and they're moving away from Obama. Why do you think Obama has blown a 10-point lead in the last couple of months? Because people are looking past the rhetoric into the substance.
All right, we're going to have to wrap it up for this segment. We're just short on time, but we'll have you both back. I know, Mark, we're going to talk more about this Senate race. I mean, and excuse me, Mark, we're going to talk about Colorado being the pivotal state.
Yes.
And Dick, we're going to talk about the Senate race that may have a great deal to do with power once again in the Senate. It focuses on Colorado. Thank you both for being here.
Great.
All right, back to those protests now, as we've been 3 arrests, I should say. Let's broaden this out now, and let's talk about this. Believe it or not, the RNC is here. This is, on my right, coincidentally enough, this is Dick Wadhams, of course. He is the chair of the the Republican committee here in Colorado. Dick, good morning. Welcome again. Good to see you. And on my left, Mark Levine. He is a syndicated national talk show host. He's representing, of course, the liberal side of things. You both agree that this is, if you will, a purple state. It is kind of a light red right now, but we have changed our government here now to a Democratic government. Will that move the entire state in terms of voting for this president to the left, do you think, Dick?
Steve, this has always been a competitive state. If you want to put a color to it, it's probably purple, always has been. One of the great myths that has emerged from this Democratic National Convention coming to town is that somehow the Democrats, for the first time in history, are competitive in the Rocky Mountain West and Colorado, which is a bunch of bunk. I mean, Democrats had 24 straight years of Democratic governors, as you recall. They've always done well in Colorado.
Governor Romer will be here tomorrow.
Governor Romer, Dick Lamb, Gary Hart. I mean, this state has always been competitive. And so it fits the Democratic storyline that somehow they're competitive for the first time in history, but it does not square with reality. This is going to be a very competitive election. It is going to be an election that is moving to the issues. That's why Obama is falling. That's why Boulder liberal Mark Udall is falling, and we're going to win in 2008.
I'm going to come back to that Senate race because that's very important. Mark Levine, come into this discussion. What is the issue? Is it the economy? What is it?
I think it is the economy. First of all, I want to say that I'm glad to agree with Dick. It happens, you know, every blue moon. This is a purple state. This is a competitive state. I should say the latest poll in Colorado, they were tied. Now Obama's up by 2 points, so we'll see what happens. But it is a very competitive state. I think Mark Udall has, you know, the Udall family name in the West is very well respected, and it is the economy. I mean, people are hurting. One of the things that I think Republicans don't seem to understand is that regular people, ordinary people, are suffering. Under Bill Clinton, the rich got richer, but the poor and the middle class got richer too. Under Bush, of course, only the very super rich have gotten richer. Most families are struggling, and I think that's the huge difference between Obama and McCain. Obama gets it. McCain says he doesn't really know that much about the economy.
You know, it's always nice to be with a liberal from the East Coast who doesn't understand Colorado. And Mark, I don't know where you grew up. I grew up in a small town in Colorado.
It's
one of the poorest counties in the state. So I know a little bit about what people are going through. And let me tell you, what you want to do, you want to keep $4 a gallon gasoline by restricting and banning domestic exploration, by banning offshore drilling, by banning production on the Roan Plateau. You probably don't know where the Roan Plateau is because you're not from Colorado, but you don't know where oil shale is. But let me tell you,
I do know what oil shale is.
You don't know.
I know that it caused 97%.
Would you let me finish?
Go ahead.
And so the Democrats want to keep $4 a gallon gasoline because you don't want to domestically drill. And I don't understand why Barack Obama and Boulder liberal Mark Udall don't want to increase domestic oil supplies.
I've got 20 seconds. Go ahead, Mark.
And I don't understand why the Republicans continue to say that oil is our answer. We've given enough money to dictators, Saudi Arabia and Russia, or in Iraq because of oil. You know what? There's also
even
a lot
Boulder
of,
liberal Udall is using an oil rig on
You know what? Now let me finish. The wind and the sun are free, and they don't arm our enemies.
Welcome to Colorado,
like
Mark. You don't understand our
Shale
state.
pollution
Nice
caused
of you to come to town.
91% of air pollution in Belarus.
You belong on the East Coast, buddy.
Thank you both for coming in. I knew they'd stir it up. You know what? Let's bring that all-star wrestler back in here, at least a referee. We can break him up here. Thank you both for coming in this morning. I really appreciate it, I think. We will be right back here on Good Day Colorado. A check on traffic first, however. Ken, what's going on?
Steve, well, it's nice and rowdy over there inside the Pepsi Center. It's not so much on the interstates. Things got busy about an hour.